People that have had a loss don't think that there can be anything more at the end of the tunnel. It's just a dark time. I met George at a dance, and at the end of the evening he asked if we were going the following week. The following week was bonfire night, and I was taking my daughters to see the bonfire on East End Park. George said he would take us, and my youngest daughter couldn't see the bonfire, so he lifted her up, put her on his shoulders, and I think that was the moment that I thought, he's not bad. We'd been married some years, and unfortunately towards the end he was ill and he was in a wheelchair for a good few years. That last day he was ill during the night. He was taken into St James's and they decided that he needed an operation straight away, and he never came out of the theatre alive. The last thing he said when he was going through the doors was, "When I come home, we'll book a holiday. Life's for living."
I had 52 and a half years with Mary. She was only 18 when I married her. We had us ups and we had us downs. And sometimes it were more downs than ups, but we always got through them, always. From me retiring, wherever Mary was, my shadow was with her. Mary died 8 years ago. I thought end the world was there. I was just an hermit. I didn't go to friends, relatives or anything, and I just wanted it to end.
Crossgates and District Good Neighbour scheme provides support to older people experiencing loneliness and social isolation. Both Ken and Anita joined our bereavement group and attended social events.
I'd gone in George's place to the Christmas lunch for the Good Neighbours, and after the dinner she said, "Can I introduce you to a few people?" So I said, "Yes, sure." So we were doing the rounds and we approached the table that Ken was sitting at, and there was something about him that made him stand out from everybody in the room. He was smartly dressed. He was a gentleman. It was a long time I'd seen somebody wearing cufflinks and a tie and a nice smart blazer. There was just something calming about him. He just had this persona about him. And we just had a little chat and we left not long after. And we got into the car and I said to my mum, "Who was that gentleman?" She says, "Which one?" I says, "The smartly dressed one." So she said, "Oh, that's Ken." And she told me a little bit about him. So I said, "Oh, it was really nice. I liked Ken." So she went, "Yeah, I liked him." I said, "No, it was a really nice man." She says, "Yeah, I really like him." So I said, "You really like him, or you really, really like him?" And I think that was the first time ever I saw my mum blush, and she just went quiet. So I said, "Well, why don't you just ask him for a coffee?"
I remember saying, "I can't do that. We don't. I'm not in an age that we ask people out." But yeah, we did go out for a coffee, and then we went for a meal to the Harvester.
We just talked about George and my wife Mary, and that was the whole evening.
We realised that perhaps we should have been going home because the staff were stood with the coats on and they were turning the lights out. And then he came here for a meal, which was very brave of him because I barely know where cooker is, never mind cook a meal. But he must have liked it because he's still here. And on the 20th of January this year, we got married. It's a natural progression from friendship into something else.
I haven't got 52 and a half years to do with Anita as what I did with Mary. But however many it is, I've got them.
But we do still have Mary and George with us. We've got photographs of them and we talk about them. Me perhaps more, because when we have a disagreement, I do say, "Oh, what would Mary say about that?"
I think it's wonderful that they can share the previous marriages in their marriage instead of not talking about it and then them just going off on their own to grieve, still grieving both of them. I think it's healthy that they can talk about it together and help each other through it.
And you don't go looking for these things, they just happen. If they're meant to be, they happen. And I've learned that you've got to give it a chance and live life for what it is, because life is for living.